Hello! I just wanted to make a quick little video and I'm celebrating hitting 100 subscribers, which it seems kind of silly and really awesome all at the same time. That like 3 or 4 days ago, I was at 6 subscribers and now I'm at 100 and I'm over 100 now. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for all the kind people who have commented and who have taken the time to listen and just be a part of this community that I'm trying to build. I thought that it would be fun for me, since this is kind of just a celebration video of just me thanking you, getting on here and thanking you for being here. But I just had the thought of like maybe every big milestone that I hit, I'll get on and just share an experience in my life that has helped me draw closer to the Lord, and maybe it will help strengthen someone. I don't know who needs to hear this message, but there's actually been 2 experiences that have been in my mind, and I'm going to share one of them, even though the other one, I don't know, the other one has been on my mind like all day today, but I want to share one of them because of today and what today is for me. But maybe like every time, so like I hit 100 today, maybe next time will be when I hit 500. I'll share another testimony builder, and I'll just keep going. 100, 500, 1,000, from there. But really, first, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you so much for investing your time in me, and not only not me, but in the message that I have to share. And thank you for trusting me. And I really go into this trying to have the Spirit with me, and so I hope that you guys can feel the Spirit through these videos. Okay. So the experience that I want to share today, as a testimony builder for me, has to do with my daughter, Elsie. She, maybe, I don't know how I can show a picture. Just a second. Is it recording? I don't know which buttons I push. I'm sorry. I just decided like maybe I shouldn't show a picture just on the internet for everyone to see. But it's my daughter Elsie's birthday today. She just turned 1, and she has been such a blessing in our life. So it was August. I don't know why I said April, because this month is April. August 2022. I woke up in the morning, one morning, and I just had the strongest impression that we needed to have a baby. And I was not ready to have another baby. I had an almost 3-year-old, or maybe an almost 4-year-old. Yeah, an almost 4-year-old, I think. I don't know. The age limits are, blurring. No, he was almost 3. And then I had a 1-year-old, a 1.5-year-old. And anyway, I wasn't really ready. And anyway, we woke up one morning and felt like we needed to have a baby. And the Spirit had told me pretty clearly, you need to have a baby. She's going to be a girl, and you need to name her Elsie. And I woke up, like I was kind of like alerted awake, and I was terrified because we were not in a good place financially to have another baby. We were actually praying for something else at the time. We were really just praying, we needed more money. We were struggling with finances. And anyway, I heard that voice, and it just said, you need to have a baby. It's a girl, and her name needs to be Elsie. And it was urgent. It wasn't like, yeah, when you're ready, when you come around to it. It was urgent. Like, this needs to happen. My heart was just pounding, and I'm like, how am I going to tell my husband? Like, we are not ready for this. And he woke up, and I told him, and I said, hey, this is the craziest thing, but I feel like we need to have a baby. And he's like, okay. Like, just okay. And I'm like, what? You're not going to fight me on this? You're not going to be like, oh, maybe in a year, like, and he was like, no, I've been feeling similar thoughts. And anyway, we just decided, okay. So this is pretty funny. At the time I was working on labor and delivery, and there was a nurse there who was going to school to be a midwife, and she was almost done. And I texted her and I said, hey, when do you work next? And I was supposed to work that night. She goes, oh, I work tonight. And I said, will you, this is too much information. Anyway, I'm going to just stop right there. Anyway, this is too much information just because I don't know my audience. But long story short, we, it was general conference. It was October general conference. And, so that was in like mid-August when I had that impression. And so a month and a half later, for a general conference, I took a test and it was positive. But then later that day, I started bleeding, and I was like, oh, I don't know why that test was positive, but I started my period. So I must have just had either a false positive or I miscarried really early. I mean, I don't even know if that would be called a miscarriage at that point. So I didn't think anything of it, and I was like, okay, well, we'll just keep trying. And so I go on with my life, and then it was really kind of weird. Like, every couple weeks I would just have these little bleeding episodes, and I would be like, oh man, my hormones are just so out of whack. I need to probably go figure that out so that I can get pregnant. And anyway, I called the doctor and I said, hey, can I get in? I need to make an appointment to get my hormones checked. And anyway, they were like, okay, well, before you come in, you have to verify that you're not pregnant. And I said, okay, I can verify that. They're like, when was the last time you took a test? And I said, well, I haven't taken a test for probably a month, but I could take one. So anyway, they're like, okay, call us back. You have to take a test. You have to get negative, and then we can schedule your appointment. And I was like, that's fine. I go in, take a test, and it is positive. And I'm like, I've been bleeding. Like, why? And like, it should have registered because I'm a labor and delivery nurse, and it didn't. So anyway, I'm like, I go in and I set an appointment, not for my hormones to be checked, but for my first OB appointment. And he's like, oh yeah, you're like 8 months along, or not 8 months. Oh my gosh, 8 weeks along, 2 months. 2 months along. And I was like, what? Like, normally I get like super nauseous, and I just know that I'm pregnant because I'm nauseous. And anyway, yeah, he's like, this is not a new baby. Like, normally I'm like 4 weeks I know I'm pregnant, 5 weeks I'm in my doctor appointment. And I had my first doctor's appointment at like 8.5 weeks. And anyway, it was crazy. But so the cool thing about that story is, so I was told, right, she's going to be a girl. Her name is going to be Elsie. Well, I didn't know, like, I didn't know. I don't have family with that. Well, I found out later that I do have family with that name, but Anyway, I was like, why Elsie? I mean, I love the name. It's beautiful, I think. But I looked it up, and Elsie means oathed or covenanted with God. And it was just so interesting because we were praying for something else. We were praying for we needed more money, and yet we're told the opposite, to have a baby. And I was like, Heavenly Father, this is the opposite of what we need. Babies cost a lot of money. And I was like, I don't think we can do this. And then that name of just, you know, she is just this blessing, this covenant blessing that I have promised you. And it it was very sacred. It was a very sacred time and pregnancy. Well, so I was supposed to be due June 10th or something was my due date. And I my water broke 7 weeks early. And so I had to stay in the hospital for a week. And then after a week, they just delivered her, and she stayed in the NICU for a month, and was completely fine. She just needed a month longer, right, in the hospital. But it's interesting, you hear the phrase God works in mysterious ways, and we thought we needed something else. We thought we needed more money, and Heavenly Father was like, no, you don't. Instead, I'm going to have you have a baby who's going to cost a lot of money, because she's going to stay in the NICU, and you're going to stay in the hospital for a month, and you are going to hit your very high out of pocket, max. and um and through it all, we have seen the hand of the Lord. And we don't even know where we would be if we didn't have her in our lives. And today she turns 1, and I've had all the emotions of just love and gratitude that I was able to listen, even though it was not something that I necessarily wanted, or thought that I wanted, or thought that I even needed. But I'm so grateful that I listened to the Spirit when He spoke, and I'm grateful for her. Now, there is a little more to the story. So, well, not more, but my husband's grandma, she is the sweetest thing, but she has her memory is just bad. She has dementia, and she is with it sometimes, and then she's not the next. And but every time she holds my daughter, she just looks at her and she just says, I'm so glad you got here safely. I'm so glad you got here safely. And I just always think, what do you know? What do you know that you're not saying? And it's like I can't tell if it's because she had a rough start, right? She had to be in the NICU, or if she, like, I don't know if she knew how hard it was for us to, I mean, we were faithful, and we did it right away. Like, we did not hesitate to get pregnant or anything. But it was definitely a test of faith to have the baby. And I just wonder, if I wasn't so quick to listen to the Spirit, if I could have pushed that out of my head and out of my mind, and maybe that sweet little spirit, what if she didn't come to the earth? And so I just think, not all promptings are going to be like, have a baby, or so life-changing as that. But I just think of when the Spirit speaks to us, and when Heavenly Father speaks to us, are we listening? And are we acting quickly on the promptings that we receive? And what would our life look like if we weren't doing those things? I can tell you that our finances have not gotten better in that year. But you know what has gotten better is our ability to live within our means. And I'm so grateful for I'm so grateful for the lack of want that we feel. Like my husband received a blessing from his grandpa right before his grandpa died. And he said, you won't want for anything if you live worthy, if you're righteous. And it's so true. We have everything that we need, plus some, like we have been blessed with so much. And even though it would be really nice to have more money, it's amazing that we aren't left wanting. We aren't left being like, we need this and we can't afford it, And just recently, our air conditioner, right? We had our air conditioner tuned up and the pipes are freezing and the components are freezing, and they're like, you're probably going to need an air conditioner. Luckily, we don't need to use it right now. But anyway, they're like, you're probably going to need an air conditioner. And the same day that they told us that, I found out that like my other job that I'm doing, I'm going into so much debt, but I'm a loan officer in Utah, and so I do mortgages, and I have this deal that is closing. It's going to be the same price as an air conditioner. And I just think, I don't want to spend this money on an air conditioner, but we're not left wanting. And I just think we're so blessed. And I guess to wrap it up, it's just, I'm so grateful for the Spirit of God who communicates to us and who tells us the needful things for our life. And I'm so grateful that as we act on promptings, our confidence in Heavenly Father grows. And I'm not left wondering if Heavenly Father is going to help us make it through, because I know He will. And He has helped me through so many challenges through my life and so many experiences, and not only challenges and experiences, but He's been there in the good times too. And I've been able to see His hand in my life in the good times and the bad times. And He truly is one of my best friends. Heavenly Father and Jesus Christ, they know me, they understand me, and I promise you that they know you and they understand what you're going through. And when they ask you to do something that may seem hard or it may seem counterintuitive, trust them, because they are the gardeners here. Remember that story of the currant bush? They are the gardeners. And we may think that we want to be some big tree, a big shade tree, but really we're just a currant bush. And when we're pruned, we'll be able to give fruit. And I'm just so grateful for all of you again for being here. And thank you. Thanks for getting me to 100 subscribers. And I can't wait to share my next testimony builder with you when we hit 500 subscribers. So please like, share, subscribe, comment, and just continue sharing light and joy and gathering Israel, because that is the most important work on the earth today. So thank you so much, and I love you guys. I really do. All the comments have been so nice. So anyway, thank you and have a great day.